Hey guys, so I'm trying something new again, and if you watched my 5-minute video yesterday, you will see that I'm trying some new things on there as well. My green screen is behind me, so that's what you're seeing, and that's what I'm using on my 5-minute videos. So that's really cool. Okay. I am also attempting to have somebody helping me with the live chat in case something goes awry. So if you see that I am wearing either a headset or a Bluetooth or something like that, that is why. Um, so welcome everybody. Hi Dee, Jocelyn, Raggedy Girl, Linda is here. If you see somebody in blue, they are moderators. So I want you to say a big hello to them and thank them for being here. Okay, just let me get these sorted out here. Hopefully I've got everyone added the way I need to add them. We've got Michelle here and Penny, Esther, and they are moderators. And we've got people from Tennessee. Okay, so now if you are watching this archive, you're probably like, what is she doing? The beginning of my videos, I am always talking to my community, welcoming people that I recognize. There's a bunch of people that come in very often and most of the time to chat with people that they recognize and that they know, and they're coming from Facebook. So we've got a Quality Crafts group on Facebook. So if you'd like to be inspired more or help to inspire others by sharing your projects, come on over. Everyone is invited. It is a non-commitment, non-drama group that has no participation police. So if you're just coming over and you don't want that pressure of you got to perform and do something like 3 times a year, what is it, every 3 months or however people run it. I don't have any of that over at the group, so come on in. You're all welcome to come in. See, we've got Gretchen here tonight. There we go. Dana's here. Vicky is here. Hi, guys. Kay is here. Aloha. Hello. Who else do we have? I'm sorry if I missed a few people in the beginning. As we come through here, hopefully I'll be able to catch everybody on the second time around there. We're actually slightly early. When I say that my live stream is going to run from 6 to 7, I typically start the project at 6:05. So again, for people who are probably watching this archived, if you're not in chat already, you're going to want to try to catch it live because you will be able to join in on the chat depending on what kind of technology you're using. I know sometimes mobile phones have a hard time finding the chat. It is there. iPads and other tablets have a hard time finding the chat, and some just don't support it for some odd reason. Chat also has what's called a super chat. So if you're ever in on one of my live streams and you really, really love the content and maybe pledging on Patreon is not for you, you want to do a super chat, you can do that. That's just a one-time pledge that goes straight into the AdSense, that goes into the revenue that I get from my channel. So that helps keep the community thriving and helps me become a full-time YouTuber so that I can be here all the time for you guys. Right now I am still a full-time interpreter for the school district, and next year I'll be a full-time SEA. So that is going to be put to the side as soon as I get this taken off and I become full-time for you guys. So that's really exciting. That's going to be coming. Oh, Mickey, you made it. So little hearts for Mickey. She's been trying forever to get into the live stream, and she's just forgets or doesn't have her thing set. So yay, I'm so glad you made it. That's awesome. Tabby is here. Janet, Kay. Who else do we have? Okay, so in about 3 minutes at 6:05 my time, Central Standard Time, I will begin the project. We're going to make these really cool flowers today, and they actually can fit on a gift bag. So I've got a little gift bag right here. I can't fit the whole entire thing in here, but the large one will fit on a gift bag, and this is a small one. Let me give you an idea of what the size of this, other than the size of my hand, right? It's a little over 8 inches long and a little over 5 inches wide. So 8 by 5. And then I've got 3 different sizes here. So if you're going to craft along and you want the template that's free in my store at qualitycrafts.com, just go over to qualitycrafts.com, and on the very top you'll see the store link. If you're mobile, you'll have to click on those 3 little lines that drops down a menu, and then you can choose store from there. So we'll be doing 3 different sizes today, depending on how much time we have to put into all of them. And this one was actually hand colored. You can use, if you want to skip the steps of having to do all that, go ahead and get some pattern paper ready. These were made with a heavy cardstock. I'm going to do some with a not as heavy of a cardstock, and if you want to grab pattern paper, that works as well. Oh, everyone's saying it's like super muggy. It got really warm here today in Madison. I think we hit at least 80. Well, I am not complaining because winter is over and we're on our way to summer. So thank you everyone for joining me. Cheers to everyone who I haven't said hello to yet. Hi to Sandy and Vicky, Linda Hansen, hello. Jennifer Merker, thanks for coming. Muggy everywhere, I guess, huh? One more minute, and oh, let me flash while we're waiting here just for a second. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the new Patreon list. Yay! Deborah Miller is my VIP patron. Thank you so much to Deborah Miller. And we've got newbies. So let's welcome Esther Carver, Regina Adamy, Catherine Godwin, Jennifer Scheinman, and Heidi Lilly. Thank you guys so much for pledging on Patreon. That keeps this group going. It makes sure that we've got lots of stuff that's going to be exciting, that's going to be going on the private patron group. So if you want to join us there, I have a video up of a tour of my new craft room. And we also got some exciting and just amazing fun things going on there. And there's going to be more stuff cropping up all day during, all summer while I have time off to be with you guys more. So that is super fun. I love to share all the names of the people who do that. So anytime you're a newbie, you'll be put on there, and then the list is just going to keep growing. So I'm going to have to find creative ways to thank you guys, but that's super fun. So 6:05, let's begin. We're going to I think we'll start off with this larger one, and you're going to need a glue gun. If you don't have the template, you can draw your own. I'm going to start by showing you what comes with the template. So I'm going to move these guys over. Hi, Kathy Godwin, you made it. Whoop, whoop. All right, so this big, let me move this. Can I just bring you out a tad? I don't know if it'll let me. Oh, one more. Okay, there we go. Let me slide the keyboard up. This long one is going to make the large one. And then this one, skinnier, smaller one, is going to make the smaller flowers. You decide how big or how small you want to make that. That makes the center of the flower right here. So the difference between this is the larger one, this is the smaller one. You can decide what size you need. And, take the template, play around with it, be creative, and just, come up with really cool stuff on your own. And then you'll get these different sizes here of the petals. So the first two go, let's see, let's go in the right order here. These first two make the big one. The larger one, okay? Those two. You need 5 of the large ones and 5 of the next size down to make the flower, okay? And then if you want to make the next size down, you take this one and this one, 5 of each to make the next size. Then the next size down would be 5 of these and 5, you know what, I think that's the same size. Yeah, I think I accidentally got 2 in there while I was messing around here. So then you would take this one with this one and you do 5 of each. So you've got, if you do these two, it's the big flower. If you do these two, it's the medium flower. And if you do these two, it's the small flower. So you should have enough to make 3 different sizes. This skinny one goes with the medium and the small, and this one goes with the large. Alrighty, I'm hoping that's clear how to use the template. These are the things that you'll get on the template itself. I think I believe I do have a PDF, an SVG, excuse me, PDF, FG, a JPEG, and then I also have a silhouette cut file. So if you're lucky enough to have a silhouette, that file is already set up and ready for you to cut. Pretty cool. If you don't, or if you've already got these and you're going to cut them out, I just recommend cutting them out like they are, like I have them right here, and then tracing them however many that you want to do. So I'm going to start out with the large one. So I'm going to start out with these two big ones here. That means that I'm going to need the large rectangle, and I'm going to make the center of my flower yellow, kind of like I did this one. So let me put that one in. We're kind of heading towards the sides right here. So I'm just going to put this right in the corner of my paper so that I don't have to trace all of it. And I'm going to use a pencil so that I can just do a light line. And I'm just going to trace this one out. Now how I normally do it is I normally show you a couple of different ways to do this. So if you just have regular scissors, use your regular scissors. But if you're lucky enough to have a five blade scissor like this one to cut a bunch at a time, use this one. The links to these, if you want to use my Amazon links, that would be awesome, will be in the description box below, so you can find them there. Of course, you're not going to want to use this one for just cutting the tracings, obviously, but it makes the middle of the flower go a little bit faster. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. This is going to be, like I said, the middle of the flower. So we got that there. Now the thicker the cardstock you use, guys, the harder this is going to be for you. So if you want this to be a little bit easier to handle, use a thinner cardstock or a thin pattern paper, something like that. Just be careful when you use the hot glue gun, though, that you don't burn yourself, because the thinner it is, the more likely you are to, feel that heat through. So now I need 5 of these and 5 of these, and I've got some already cut. What I did was I used a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and I cut these in 2.5 increments of each color that I wanted to use for today, so that I could just fold these over, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. But I'm going to make this first one out of these 2 different blues. Whoops. So I'm going to take 1 dark blue and 1 light blue. And I'm going to see how many we're going to need. The reason why I did them at 2.5 was because that's how wide I needed it to get the largest one. That was what I was mostly concerned about. So I'm going to go 1, and I'm going to fold these so I only have to cut a couple at a time. 1, 2, and if I fold it again, I'll get 3 out of this for the large one. So I'm going to need 2 more. So I'm going to need another strip of blue. 4 and 5. And then I'm just going to cut this off, and I'll save this scrap. Okay, so I'm cutting the largest one. Again, we just folded this paper over so I'd get 1, 2, 3 on this one, and I'm just going to hold it there instead of tracing it and cut around it. You can do this any way you want, and this template is so simple that if you want to create a different pattern of petal, if you don't want this exact looking petal, if you want more bumps on the end, or you want it to be more pronounced or whatever, you use your creative thinking and do your own. This is normal cardstock. Yeah, the dark blue is. It's like maybe 90 pound cardstock. The ones that, this is normal cardstock. The other 2 little ones that I showed you are 110 pound white cardstock. And if time allows, I'm going to do one with that too. And I'm going to show you how I made those colors in this one. I'll show you how I did that. And many of you guys know because it's my absolute favorite ever. So you're totally going to love that. So let's see what we've got here. We should have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And then we need 5 of the smaller one. I'm going to turn this sideways. I should be able to get 5 out of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Super. Hi, Valeria. And then I'm going to cut this one out. It's so hot in here right now, you guys. We didn't turn any air on, but we didn't dare open up any windows because it was so hot, and it was actually the temperature's less in here than it is outside. But I am starting to sweat. Woo! I hope you guys got your drinks and your pajama pants on and that you're comfy. So cheers. Thanks for coming. Okay. That should be 5 of that. So let's just make sure we're all together here, and we've got all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the large, and then the second size down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's move those out of the way, the templates. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. These are all going to go like the light blue is going to go on top of the dark blue like this for our flower, and this is going to be the center. So let's start now. I didn't want to have everything cut out in advance because I wanted you guys to see the process, because some of you guys really need that. And other of you guys, if you want to just jump ahead in the video, if you're watching it archived, or if right now you guys already knew, you probably just kind of went ahead and just did some of this stuff on your own. That is awesome. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this one. We're just going to just really simply fold it right in half. That's it. This is where if you make this out of a less heavy cardstock, it will be so much easier for you, okay? You can wrap this around now when we're done with it around a pen or a pencil or whatever you have. But if you've got one of these, and I linked this in the description box below, this is a reverse tweezer. So when you squeeze it, it opens, and when you let go, it holds the thing that it's squeezing on, okay? So that gives you like an extra hand, so to say, and it's going to help us when we roll this together for that middle of the flower. So we've got this folded, right? We're going to cut this on this edge right here, this folded edge. Make sure you're not cutting the edge that opens. And like I said, if you're lucky enough to have a 5-blade scissors, this is going to make it a lot easier. You're just going to cut all the way down. Make sure that you don't cut all the way and get rid of, and cut it right off. Make sure there's a little edge right here. The size of that edge is up to you. It's not really that important. You just don't want to cut it completely off. If you're using a regular scissor, then you're just going to want to keep cutting as you move the paper down. Okay? And, you know, if you want uniform cuts, that's fine. I'm not going to worry about uniform cuts at this time. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this scissor just so that you don't have to sit and watch me cut the whole thing every time. You can go in here. Oh, you're going to hear Liney because he thinks he's starving. I know, you're okay, buddy. You're going to be fine, sweetheart. There we go. So here's where the reverse tweezer comes in. Now we've got this really cool center part to our card, but we've got to roll it up. And I just find it's easiest to grab the end of it around my tweezer and then start rolling. And it's going to bunch up, and you're going to get like some big pieces in here. I turned off the autofocus, I mean, so I might not be able to get super close. But you're going to get bunches, and that's okay. Don't worry about that. You just want to make sure that you're rolling it all the way up. Now about halfway is where I grab my glue. And you can use your hot glue if you want, but I'm not going to use my hot glue to do this part. Why is that this happens every time I do a video? And never ever happens at home when I'm not in your face. I'm going to add some glue right here. And then I'm just going to continue to curl it up, and that way the glue will hold this together. And like I said, don't worry about the bunching. It's going to get kind of fat. You just want to make sure that it all stays together and that you get it at the end. I just want my finger on the edge, and then I wiggle this open and shut until I get that out. And you have this bottom part here. Let me see if I could turn this on and show you guys a little bit more close up. Okay, so that's what it ends up looking like. You just want it to stay together. That's the whole point. So if you want to tape this edge, if you want to just put a little hot glue on that, I mean, it's obviously sticking now. I'm kind of ripping it apart, but if you want to just take a little bit of hot glue, then it'll stay for good. We'll do that. So if you're watching us in live and you're in the chats, people are saying that you can use these scissors for other things too. So you might want to check that out. I'm not sure how that happened. But anyway, let me move that out of the way. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start putting these together and then adhering them to our flower. Let me go bring you guys back out. Now I think that's probably good. Let me know if it starts making a heartbeat on the screen and I'm not seeing it, because that's annoying. First thing we're going to do is kind of fold these in half just on the end. And we're going to put glue on one side. As I keep doing these, you'll start seeing how this works. And we'll get to be doing it a little bit faster. So we're just going to put a little dot of glue on the right side. And then we're going to squeeze it shut. Like I said, don't burn yourself. This is a little bit not as wide as the other one. I'll just go ahead and do all these first so you can see how these are done. Just put a little bit of glue on one side and then squeeze it shut. So once you get the hang of it, you can start playing around with the shape of your petals. You can start playing around with the different kind of pattern paper that you want to use. You can just make this completely your own style in your own idea. It's going to be really cool. I would love to see some of these popping up on Quality Crafts. So if you're not already a Quality Craft member over on Facebook, come on and join us. It's a lot of fun. There's no commitment and no drama over there, so you can just join us and hang out if you want. Maybe you're a newbie and you're just not ready to share things that you make. That's okay. Hang out anyways. And then the next thing, we've got those done. Next thing we're going to do is we want to put these inside of these. So here's what I do with that. I do a little run back and forth along the bottom of there, and then I put this in the middle and I squeeze it up to grab that center, to grab that blue one to keep it from moving. Okay, and that makes the petal. So it's a two-tone petal. I mean, you can get crazy. Like this one, I went ahead and I just embossed all of it. Do you see that? And then I went over the top of it with a darker color so that you've got a two-tone purple, a two-tone pink. And that looks really cool together too. So you can just, use whatever supplies you have. And if you don't have those supplies, even the ones like this one is really elegant. I love this one and there's nothing fancy about it. Purple paper and a yellow center and that's it. So let's go ahead and put together the other 4 petals. We're just going to run some glue across the bottom here. Put our petal in and just squeeze it up. You can also do this without hot glue, guys. It's just that, especially the petals, if you want to do the petals with all wet glue, I'm afraid, though, when you get to putting the actual flower together, I don't know that that's going to hold it together. So you're probably going to want a hot glue for that. Because I don't think regular glue is going to hold this. You'll get what you'll see, and especially if you're following along with me and you're playing along with the paper, you're going to get the gist of why that's not going to be successful for you. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Dee, Elaine. I think I missed a few of you guys. Hi, Kay. Hey, watcher. You, he, and she who shall be watching it archived. Hello. Thanks for coming. I watched somebody else do this flower in a much different way using foam. And so what I did was I used her idea and I created this using paper instead of foam and changed it slightly to make it my own. Good question. Exactly what you guys should be doing when you watch me, right? Okay, so now we're going to take the center of it and we're going to take these flowers and we're going to glue them around the outside like this. So you're just going to put glue on one side and you're going to glue it right to the center. So we're going to put a little glue on there and we're going to glue it to the side. Now this is the point here where you can decide how high up on the middle of the flower you want to go. You know, if you want it to be kind of buried, you can put it a little bit lower. If you want these to stick up a little bit higher, it's totally up to you. So the next one is going to go next to this one, okay? So you're going to put glue here and we're going to put it so that they overlap, so that you're kind of going towards the front of that one. Okay, so you're gonna put your glue on the flower, on the petal, and then push it down here. So here goes the glue. I'm gonna push it down there. So once we get all the way around the flower with these 5 petals, then you can decide if you don't like this gap, you can put glue here as well. But we're gonna do all 5 first. Put a little more glue on this one. It's gonna be the same as this other one. We're gonna go just ahead of this one here. And you gotta hold it. And this is why the hot glue, like you really do need the hot glue. Okay, next one. I think that if we didn't overlap them as much, you could probably get 6 petals on here. You know what? Try it out. Do what you want to do and make it your own. Hi from Canada. And then we've got one more, and that might actually get tucked right underneath there. So the last one might be a little bit tight of a fit, depending on how much space you gave yourself. And I just moved the petals so that they kind of, right here, they kind of come together. So they seem to be on the same wavelength. Okay, see now how I've got gaps here? Like if you don't like those gaps, you can start going around and gluing the flower together. So let's say I don't really care for this gap, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. I'm just going to glue all my petals together. I didn't do this on the last ones. I think I got them just a little bit closer put together. And then another trick that I know to get rid of a lot of these, when you got these little hangy things from your glue gun, if you use your heat gun when you're done, the heat gun will melt them and have them disappear if they're not real heavy. Tammy, I think that if that works for you, then you go for it. So there we go. I glued all my petals together just to make sure that it was nice and tight. And then I can fan these out if I want a little bit. If I would have put this this is where I was talking about. Now I've got this kind of even here. If I would have put this up a little bit higher, if I would have put that up just a little bit higher, then I could have spread those out a little bit more, kind of like this one. This one is a lot higher right here. So let's see, we've got, this one actually looks more like this one. And do you see, I've got a couple of gaps here, but I didn't worry about that. I just kind of let it go. I still really like the way that one turned out. This one, like you can see on the other side, I glued all of them together. And that one looks really cool too. So if you want to spread them out a little bit more and do more than 5, if you want to add 6 petals to yours, if you want to make them smaller and do 8 petals, like I can't wait to see what you guys come up with and then if you do, make sure you go over to Quality Crafts and post them there as well. That'd be really cool. Okay, so this one, I put a little bit of glue on the bottom here to make sure that it didn't unravel. This will still come out. If you can see, it comes out and in. You might want to do that on the bottom of these too. That's totally up to you. Maybe when you're gluing it on your project, you want to put a little glue there just to make sure. Now, when you glue, if you roll it, you're not touching it above it. If you roll it like this, do you see there's no glue like hanging there? That's a really good way to do that. I'm going to leave that upside down just so it dries. And I'm going to show that again. So you don't get strings, right? So press the glue so that it goes in there, cover the spot you want to cover, and then go around like this and pull up. Do you see that there's nothing hanging there? So it's all in the technique. Sometimes you can get away with not having very many of those. Now, do you see all the messy ink that's coming through here? I really want to show you how I did the petals on this one. We've got time because it's super fun to come up with your own petals. Let me show you. I dyed these petals to look like that using my favorite technique ever. And so I've got some orange and yellow on these, and I've got some purple and blue on the ones underneath, and I'm going to show you how I did that, and it's super, super simple. I might not do all of them, like a whole bunch of them, but I'm going to use the heavy cardstock that I have here, so I'm going to go ahead and trace some more. And this is what you guys would do if you don't have a cutting machine. If you're just using the template, you're going to use these to trace the ones that you want. And then you should be able to like fold it over and do, 2 or 3 on your own. You need 5. So let's see if we get 1, 2, we'll get 4. That's good enough, just so I can show you the technique of what I'm talking about. We don't have to do like a whole nother flower, but if we get time, we will. How many will I get out of this? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'll get 6. Perfect. 6. Awesome. So this should be the largest one. We're going to make another large one. Now, if you want to cut yours down and use the smaller ones, you go ahead and do that. But for purposes of today, we'll go ahead and just do that. We'll just do the big ones for today. Same exact way to do it, right? Whether they're big or small, so it's okay. Of course, you probably want to take a little bit more time, to cut yours out and all that, but who wants to sit and watch somebody cut things out all day, right? So I don't even have an extra one, which I'm not going to put with my templates because I'll get all confused, so I'm going to put them off to the side. I've got 5 of these. We might be putting this together, so I might as well go ahead and do 5 of the smaller ones just to make sure. And I should have plenty of room to do 5 more of these on here as well. 6 actually, because I folded it 3 times. You know what we're watching in 8th grade? We're almost out of school. I'm almost to the summer. Yes. We are watching movies on the Civil War. Let me tell you, I did not pay attention going to school the first time. And I'm learning all sorts of things this time around. That was a gory, gory war. amazing, amazing that they have these movies to explain all this stuff. It's just, I'm not a historian and I'm not a politician, but I'll tell you what, that was a lot more exciting the second time around as an adult than it was when I was in 8th grade the first time. Almost done with this one. I know a lot of people are done already with school. I think my sister's little guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just counting, making sure that I don't mess up here. I think he's done this Friday, and we go on for one more week. I have all next week yet, except for our 8th graders will graduate a little bit early. They graduate like Wednesday morning, and then they're gone. They're out the door, and then, but we still have to work until Friday. Friday's a half a day, so. All right. This is my favorite technique, and you guys have seen this probably a bazillion times, but just in case you haven't, I'm going to do it again because I love it. And it's just Crayola markers. Now, there is an awesome, awesome set of these Crayola markers. It's like triple this, a great big set like this, in the link below. And that's the next set I'm going to get. And I think I'm going to do blue and purple again. Unless you guys, if you guys have some, oh, bye, Kathy. Okay, we'll see ya. If you guys want to shout out colors, you want a chance to pick colors for this flower, I should probably let you guys pick colors. I don't have a lot of colors though, so I was just going to go with the same ones if you're okay with that. Just let me know. So let me just show you this real quick. Now, whatever color you do on the inside of the big ones, like if you look, you can see purple in there. If you want that purple to show, you're going to have to bring it way out. I'm going to show you the way I did these. Just, it's basically half and half. No matter what you do on the little ones on the inside, you're going to see most of that. Okay, so keep in mind when you're doing this, what you want to show up on your flower. Does that make sense? I think it does. I'm hoping so. So let's get started. We'll do the bottom ones. Let's just do the same kind, because then I'll have two and I can do a bag that's got 2 little flowers on it. So you're just going to scribble on this. This is just an acrylic block. If you don't have an acrylic block, you can scribble right on your craft mat. It's up to you. Now I'm going to do my blue. And then I'm going to scribble on some purple. And maybe I'll bring the purple out a little bit more this time. With just a little bit of blue. And that way we'll be able to see the purple more. And then you're going to just squirt it with a little bit of water. This makes a little bit of a mess, so you might want to have a wet wipe handy, and I've got a whole package of them here. And then I'm going to smash it down on the table. You can do it however you want, but this, I think you guys will be able to see it better this way. So then you just smash it down and you let that water just go all over that paper. Do you see that? It's so cool. It's just so much fun. And then you kind of have to get your fingernail underneath there to let it loose. They're all going to turn out different, which is really cool because nature's like that. And then if you want to wipe that off, if you're not doing the same color, I don't think it really matters. Then you just do it again. So put a little bit of blue there. Yeah, I'm going to bring the purple out much further. So then you do a bunch of purple. I picked this one because I knew this block would specifically cover that whole flower. So you just kind of have to keep an eye on that. That yours is going to cover what you're putting it on. And I'm using 110-pound white Neenah cardstock. Just in case you're curious. That's why it stands up to this. It stands up to the water pretty well. If you ever order something from me and it has to be wrapped in white cardstock to make sure that it's stable when it ships, that's exactly what I'm using. So if you want to try out a piece of the cardstock that I use, you can get some if you order from my shop. So we're just going to keep going in that same fashion. We're going to scribble on the color, we're going to add a little water, and then we're going to put our petal right on there. And I use my fingernail to just kind of grab it off of there. Now I didn't get as much on that side. I'm just going to drag it across. You see me drag the color back over that white spot that was missing? Yeah. That's a super fancy technique. I haven't named it yet. Hope you guys are having fun. If you didn't see the last live stream that we did with the little notebooks, you're going to want to check that out. How to survive a major meltdown and get through the project. I see that we haven't had our special guests back in. Maybe it's because we have a lot of moderators this time. I don't know. But I was thrown for a little loop. Even forgot what the hey I was doing. Well, you guys are so awesome. You got my back, right? This technique is so super cool. I just love it. See, there's that white again. I'm just going to drag that over. There we go. Drag the color, the wet part that we have to finish it up. Hopefully we'll get enough time that if I stop gabbing so much and just get this done, we can put this flower together too. I think putting the flower together is the hardest part. You just kind of have to get the feel of where to put the petals so that they make it all the way around your flower and you don't have all the gaps and stuff. The first ones I made were just dumb luck. I just went ahead and just did it and didn't even think about it. This time around, I kind of double think myself sometimes when I'm sharing it with you, just to make sure that, yes, Linda, who is Sassy Crafter on here, she saved me. She's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and do the last 5 here, the little ones, and we're going to do these with yellow and orange, so let's move these guys out of the way. And since we're using wet glues and hot glue, we won't have to wait until these completely dry, so I'm just going to go ahead and do these right away with you. So let's see, last time we had way more yellow than orange, so this time I think we'll do way more orange and a little bit of yellow. We'll see how that turns out. Let's see how this goes. Half and half. Yay, moderators! You saved the day. We love you so much. That turned out cool. I like that. Just do the orange, right? And the yellow. This one's a little bit smaller, so I'm just sticking more towards the center of the block. You can pick a smaller block if you like. I would love to know what you guys think about the green screen in the last video. How many of you guys here, whoopsie-doo, how many of you guys here saw the Wednesday 5-minute card yesterday? Because I went out of my zone and just tried some new green screen techniques, and I thought they were pretty fun. Super cool. I had to move these markers. They keep rolling into my space. Nope, Jen's using Crayola markers. Ta-da! Plain old Crayola markers, and you can get a great big set of these. There's a link down below. So I know that a lot of you guys are like, I just can't afford to pledge on Patreon. And just so you know, this channel, what you're seeing right now, will always be free. And oops. And so you don't have to worry about that. If you want to pledge or give in a different way, if you shop Amazon, which I totally love Amazon, I think it's amazing. I've got links below over in my store and also in oh, I'm really making a mess here. Also over on my store and also down in the description box below. That anytime you click on one of my links and purchase anything, even if it's not crafty or not even the thing you went in to look at, I will get a tiny commission for that, and then that adds up, and then I can put that towards going full time and being here for you all the time. So going back to what I originally mentioned was the fact that what was I going to say about that? Oh, who knows? It'll come back to me. So we've got a little bit of orange here. I really like how this one went all through it. Did you see that? It's like just, it's really neat. Oh, cool. Michelle was there. She said the brick looked cool. I love Amazon. It's the best. I mean, every once in a while I find something cheaper, and I'll never like just send you a link to send you a link. If I send you a link of something, it's either something that I've absolutely tried and I love it and I have it. Like you'll find a link that has this one that has this wooden handle, and you're gonna look at that and go, that's really weird. But I literally have this one. It's got this funky little wooden handle. I don't know why, but it's long. It's a very sturdy one. It's super strong. I think you're really going to like these, which is why I linked them. If I don't literally have the product, but I know for a fact that it's a good one, I'll link that as well. So if this comes recommended, it'll be on my site on qualitycrafts.com. Are you talking about, like, start traveling? Oh my gosh. I would love to start traveling if I ever get to that point. That would be awesome. I would love to travel and come see you guys. That would totally be on my to-do list. Yay, we got done with them. Check it out. Ta-da! That means we could put together another one. What color do we want for the center, though? I'm thinking blue, since we've got blue on the edges. Let's do a blue center. Oh, traveling through the green screen? Oh, just wait. Oh, the fun places we will go. What does Dr. Seuss say? Oh, the places we will go. Maybe Hawaii? So we're going to go ahead and make this next flower. So we're going to take this and we're going to fold it in half. You know, the best half that you can get. Mine's a little crooked. I'm going to go with it. Make sure you're not cutting on the open edge. Make sure you're cutting on the folded edge. These 5-blade scissors, one that's similar. I couldn't find the one that are exactly like this one, but one that's similar to will be listed below. It should be on my store. It should be linked to my store too. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down. And like I said, you can use regular scissors for this. So if you're just coming in now, I can't believe I forgot to I forgot to do that. Oh well. I put up on the screen there what we're actually doing today, in case you came late. And you can use a regular scissor for this as well. You just have to make sure that as you're going that you're moving the paper and just keep cutting. This is really hard on the hand if you have arthritis or anything. This other scissor right here is going to be a lot easier on you. So then you end up with something like that. Do you see the big ones in the middle where I didn't put that as close together? You can totally see that. That's where I cut with the scissors. It makes it different. It kind of twists the paper. If you get a, let's see if I can give you a really good look at that. Those scissors tend to, I can't remember if I turned off the autofocus because we get sick of watching it just bump up all the time. So this is kind of heavy paper. This is going to bunch up on us, and that's okay. We're going to bring our glue in here. Maybe I'll just hot glue this one. Let's check it out. So we're going to bring that back in. This is what we need this for. Just to hold that end while we twist it, because that just makes it so much easier. And it's going to bump up. Do you see that big bump? It's just going to do that. It's the nature of the paper. I'm not going to worry about that. But about halfway through, you want to start maybe just putting a little bit of glue on there and then keep twisting. Just so that we know that it's going to stay together. You'll know that you're doing it right if the stuff here kind of stays flush with itself. See, now I've got that big string there. If you don't want the strings, put your glue there and then circle it around until that string kind of disappears and then pull up. Then you won't have a string. And then I just squeeze this end and then wiggle this one until it comes out. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue there. I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue on the end of mine and hold it. I think we've got enough time for me to just assemble this last flower really quick. Nikki says, I want a stamp set that has that in it. I'm not sure what has what in it. I'm just gonna like squish these out here. I'm gonna spread them out a little bit so it's bigger. Look at that. Even that would be cool. All right, let's try to put these together so that we can get you guys moving on with your evening. We've got about 10 minutes left. I'm pretty sure I can assemble this in 10 minutes. I might not even have to put another glue stick in. How cool is that? Somebody said your fingernails look like blue-haired Frankenstein. I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. I'll turn on the what do you call that? Let me bring this back up, hopefully. Oh, the autofocus is on. Okay, here. It's actually little pink flowers with blue water wave tips, like ocean tips. Do you see that? I finally learned how to use the you can actually use stamps, a special kind of stamp to stamp on your fingernails, and that's what I finally figured it out. It finally worked. Okay, you know what? I am going to need one more glue stick here. I have my little box right here. I just need to stand up and pull them out of here. She wants a stamp set that has that quote on it. The Dr. Seuss quote? Is that what we're back to? Oh, the places we will go. I was serious when I said that, though. I realize now that you guys were probably talking about the green screen. But I would love to travel around and actually meet you guys in person. I think that would be really fun. If I ever get to the point where I can afford that. I'm sure my husband wouldn't mind taking some fun vacations. One more and we'll put this together. I love how the purple and the blue still really sticks out on a lot of these. This turned out really pretty. I'm going to try to make this stick out a little bit further this time. I'm going to try to put the petals a little further down. Yeah, so that really sticks up out of there. And yeah, somebody was talking about something about taking these and like bending them, but seriously, I've got so much glue right here in the end that they don't bend super well, but you could try that for sure. Do you see how I swing it around to get rid of the little hangy things? You could do that. Now, hopefully I get these on in a decent manner this time. I don't want to have to go back and glue them all. I don't want to have to go back and glue them all together. Uh-oh, did I knock that one out? No, mine's unrolling just a tad. I'm sorry if I was out of frame. Mine's unrolling just a tad, so I'm going to put a little more hot glue in there and make sure that that's shut. There we go. That's going to make a difference in my petals, but that's okay. I'll get over it. It is pretty, isn't it? Whoops. There we go. I'm leaving a little bit more space there for the last one, so hopefully they won't be so kitty wampus. But like I said, I think this is the hardest part, is getting these spaced out just right. So you just have to play around with it and see what you get. They don't have to be perfect to be beautiful, trust me. I will go ahead and turn that autofocus back off so it doesn't bump. There we go. Oh wow, these really stuck out, didn't they? I'm just going to bend this over a little bit. There we go. That one is super pretty. Let's pull out that. Yeah, I know, Kitty. He's like, Mama, it's time to be done with the video. That is super cool. Let's pull out the ones and do a little review here. We're almost done. We're almost up in time. I know, baby. Okay, everyone want to see Liney today? Woo, okay, so here. So the purple one I had done ahead of time, and this one, and this one. Oh my gosh, look how much brighter that one turned out than the other one. That turned out super cool. So you just have to play with them. Now, this one I decided to glue all together. So if you want one that's really close, you can see where I made a mess of all my glue here. But it's together because you're going to glue it down onto something, so you're not going to see that, right? And then this one, yeah, this was one of the first ones I did. You can see how they all like overlapped each other. And that was a little bit more tightly woven. Do you see that one? And then the one that we did today, not as tightly woven. Let me see if, and it's really a dark blue, hard to see. I'm going to make sure that I put some glue on there while I'm looking at it, because we want to make sure that that stays and doesn't unravel on itself. So let me just put that one upside down. But that was the one that we just got done with. And then we've got these other ones that we did. And we made this blue one today. I really like the way this one turned out. I probably would emboss these, the center ones, because I think that would look really pretty, and then put a dark ink over the top so the dark blue matched the dark blue on the outside. And then you could put stickles on these and make them shiny if you want. We've got just a few minutes. Yeah, he did. I think he walked away finally. I was going to lift him up and have him say hi, but I don't see him now. They use everything that you have. Do I have a... Yeah, I do. I have stickles here. What am I saying? I moved into a different spot, so if I seem like a little out of sorts, it's because like a lot of my stuff was moved. So sometimes I'm like, oh, well, that used to be there, so it's not there anymore. I'm going to put some stickles just right on this brown center of this flower so we can just kind of get a gander of what that would look like. So I'm just going to put some gobs on here. Like you could leave it all gobbed up like that. Do you see that? I know it has a heartbeat, but I got to turn that autofocus back on for a sec, because I want you guys to be able to see that. Okay, so if you don't want it to be, okay, finicky camera, you can just run your finger over is what I was going to say, and redistribute that glitter into all the little spots. And that looks cool too. So however you guys want to do that, you can make them glittery as well. Super fun. I hope you guys have fun with this. I think this is a project that you could, you could create your own that get really, really small. Where's my little wipe here? Small like this. This is the teeny tiny one. This one is the smallest one. So if you have the template, this one has it's these two right here. Oh, where's the other one? There we go. It's these two. That's the medium one. Is these two tiny ones. This pink one is. The last two in the template. So the purple ones were that, and the pink ones were this one. And then all I did was run them through an embossing folder, which is why they look so much different. So it's the last two. Let me move these out of the way here. Okay, so that little one, this is the little one. I don't think I did any of the medium-sized ones to show you, and I apologize for that. This is the large and this is the small. There's one that you can make in the interim here, But here are the 4 that you'll get in the template. Okay, so this big one is made with these 2, and this little one is made with these 2. Now, if you want to do a medium one in between here, you would take one from each, and this would make a medium one. See, now it's starting to bump, that darn camera. And then with the small and the medium, I would recommend using the smaller rectangle. I'll turn that off for you guys. That's frustrating. Use the smaller one if you're going to do either the small or the medium. But the medium is up to you, however you want that to look, okay? So if you're using the 2 largest petals for the large one, then make sure that you use the larger one of this. Okay, so I actually am on some other social media now that Michelle mentioned it. I am on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, Google+, I'm on YouTube because you're already here, so you know that. And then I have qualitycrafts.com, which is my website. And we have a blog, and cool things are coming with the blogs. You're going to want to stick around for that. It's just that that's going to take a little bit more time to progress. And I am also on Pinterest, and that's also in the works. I'm revamping that so that it's a lot more easy to get around in, and the folders are a lot more interesting to look at. So that's coming up, and there's some really fun stuff that it's going to go on this summer. So let's see, make sure this is dry. So on your way out, you might want to go over to Quality Crafts on Facebook and join us there. The community of chatters is on that spot as well. And then that is a non-drama, non-commitment group. So if you're looking for a place to hang out where you don't have to worry about whether or not you've contributed or whatever, there's no participation police over there. We welcome everybody to come on over. We've got people from all around the world. The next step up would be the Patreon group for the patrons, which is private, and the only way you can get in that one is to join and pledge on Patreon, and that's not for everybody. I get that, but I want you guys to know that I appreciate every single one of you guys who comes and watches. And my Thursday evenings, like tonight, from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and my Sunday afternoons from 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and my 5-minute videos will always be, unless I change to a different series, but these 3 videos, these 3 core things that I do are always going to be on this YouTube channel, and they're always going to be free. So don't worry about that you're not going to be able to see my content. My grasp, my idea, my passion is to reach out to everybody to make art accessible from the beginner all the way through the advanced. So that's why I throw in these tools like the 5 bladed scissors and the reverse tweezers. Now, beginners might not have these, but you can still create this without these. Okay, so that's what I'm getting at. The summer schedule is going to remain the same until I put out any kind of post letting you know otherwise. And I still have a whole nother week of school and work going on. So, and then I think I'm going to have to take probably a breather to get that up and going. So just stay tuned. Yeah, I can't wait to bring you the summer schedule. It's going to be really fun. So check out all of the description box for all the links and all the other things in case you missed anything that we said here today. In case you missed what the moderators, if you're watching this archived, you obviously aren't seeing what they post. Don't worry, everything's down in the description box below so that you can find us easily. And make some of these flowers, make them your own. Okay? And I just want to say one more time, thank you so much to all of my awesome patrons, Deborah Miller and our newbies, Esther Carver, Regina Adamy, Catherine Godwin, Jennifer Scheinman, and Heidi Lilly. Thank you so, so much, and I cannot wait to see you guys next video.